Well, welcome to the call, and thank you guys for coming. I see a lot of you are brand new for the first time, so welcome. We do this once a week, and it's always on Monday nights, always at 9:30 p.m. Eastern. So jot it down and make sure that you're here every single week. You're going to see very, very quickly that this call is of the utmost importance if you want to continue to grow your business and grow yourself. It's time that we take to introduce new members. It's time that we take to recognize people that are doing a great job. And it's also a time that we have other coaches and myself share some things that have helped us to grow our businesses. And tonight we have a very, very special call, or a very special guest. Let me see if I can turn up my thing for you guys. Is that better? Better? Sweet. All right. So we have Seay Stanford on, and a lot of you guys asked to have her. Shay's only been a coach since July 1st, and she has absolutely killed it. She did our team. I want to introduce one of my best friends, and it took me over a year to recruit her into my business, but I am so glad and so blessed that she finally decided to join, because she has been such a light in this, in our family and in our team. And I know that you guys all love her already. She's only been around for 2 months, which is crazy. She has so much experience in the industry, and I would love to introduce my friend, Seay Stanford. So go ahead and broadcast yourself, Seay.
Can you guys hear me? How's that? Can you guys hear okay? Yes? Stephen says yes. Yes, good. All right. Well, I'm going to introduce myself a little bit. This is going to be about 25 minutes. You won't have to take notes. I'll take my notes and I'll post them on our coach page. So if you want to sit back and just listen and take it in. And here we go. But I'm going to start off. I just want to introduce myself a little bit. My name is Seay. I will be 39 next month. My family includes my husband, Neil, who's also a coach, and our 3 children that are 9, 7, and 1. Live here in the Tampa Bay area, just like Lynn's. I have a bachelor's in psychology. I went to college in North Carolina, actually in Charlotte, and one of my biggest hobbies is I play soccer. And I've actually played my entire life, went to college on a soccer scholarship, and continue to play. And by the way, Abby, excited you're going to be on our team tomorrow. But work-wise, more importantly, I spent 10 years of my life selling pharmaceuticals for GlaxoSmithKline and Alpharma. That is an industry, obviously, where price is a huge objection, and patient retention. Of course, I always wanted to get new patients on my products, but keeping them on the medicine was also another challenge. So very similar, where it parallels over with Shakeology. So I wanted to just share with you guys some of the stuff that I learned from my past corporate experience. I've sold products with warnings, black box warnings, products that I believe that there were probably better medical alternatives truly for patients. I was never able to actually be a product in my product. In pharma, you're assigned a product and you're trained to always accentuate the positives. And it was the sales reps that excelled on showcasing those positives that were the ones that were able to create the most value and lead their sales force and make the most bonus. Every year in my pharma career, I actually was one of the leaders and consistently in the top 10% of my sales force. But what I love more about Beachbody is because I get to choose what product I'm endorsing. I get to put my good name on the product of my choice. I get to be a product of my product, fitness and nutrition, and I get to directly influence, coach, inspire, and keep my customers motivated to earn their retention, and I have an active role in their lives, and I get to celebrate their results. So to me, there's nothing more rewarding than that. And that's where I think Beachbody has a much better opportunity than what I've had in the past. So my goal tonight for you guys is to give you the tools on how to sell Shakeology with the main focus on health to help create value to your customers. I want to teach you how to leverage Shakeology's purpose and help you overcome the price objection and also keep customer retention. The tools I'll share with you in the next 25 minutes really are no secret. I'm simply just applying what I've learned from my past corporate sales experience and using those same tools in this Beachbody career. So, first of all, when a customer tells you it costs too much, know that it is a smokescreen. What they're really saying to you is, I don't see the value. We all know that if something has value in our own mind, whether that value is a real value or a perceived value, we will find a way to justify that purchase. Whether it's a designer handbag that we could just as easily go to Marshall's and buy for $40, whether it's a Lexus over a Toyota, which is basically the same car, whether it's organic over the cheaper meats, it's a value on how it's perceived in our own. The value could be a perceived value. It could be a sense of accomplishment. It could be something that we know is a real benefit for ourselves or our family. You get the point. So how do you create value with our products? The fitness programs we know work. Before and after pictures tell the story and create that value. I think the real opportunity is with Shakeology. It's our number one continuity product. How do we get customers on HD and convince them to stay on it? So, how do you create the value with Shakeology? You have to differentiate it. Here's what I think, and looking at different people's Facebook pages, I think I may do a little bit differently. I focus on health benefits as the primary benefit and weight loss as the secondary benefit. Because health benefits, first of all, are subjective. Health to me could mean more energy. To someone else, it could be breaking free from a daily insulin injection from their diabetes. To another, it could be a stronger immune system to get through their chemotherapy. And yet another person, health could mean just getting the most out of a really intense workout without having to stop. So health is subjective. I want to talk to you about 3 disease states that are precursors for a lot of the problems that America's facing today. And number 1 is inflammation. Inflammation, we know, is the leading cause of heart disease. Scientists and researchers now know that inflammation is actually a precursor for the majority of debilitating acute and chronic diseases. Okay? What if I told you that there was something out there that would help with inflammation and decrease it? Okay? There are many environmental factors that reduce our immune system. Stress and poor diet are a couple obvious culprits. When we're sick and run down more than 3 times a year, we not only perform at our minimum level, but we consequently subject ourselves to even more diseases. Ever notice how some folks seem to always be sick? I also want to touch on free radicals. A lot of you probably don't know what free radicals are, but what they are, they're dreadful. Free radicals bond to the molecules within your body's tissues. They cause damage to cells and to your DNA contained within the cells. Free radicals play a major part in the aging process and in some autoimmune diseases and in the development of cancer. What kills free radicals? Antioxidants. They're thought to work in part by neutralizing the free radicals. We need antioxidants to break down, eliminate the damaging free radicals in our body. So to recap, just those 3 major culprits in America's failing health: inflammation, poor immune system, and too many free radicals. What if I told you that Shakeology's adaptogens in the maca root, the ashwagandha, the astragalus, Shakeology's phytonutrients, the chia seed, and antioxidants in the pomegranate and the goji berry, and those are just naming a couple for the sake of time, all directly reduce these risk factors. This is what I mean by selling on health benefits. Shakeology is different than any other shake on the market, guys. It's got a very unique superfood ingredient makeup. It's got over 70 amazing ingredients that take your health to an entirely another level. There's no added artificial colors, sweeteners. It's as clean as it gets. Nothing on any shelf anywhere can say all of that. So why sell on health first and weight loss second? First of all, you are completely selling Shakeology short in all of its brilliantly designed value. There are so many weight loss shakes in the game. Shakeology isn't just a weight loss shake. When you leverage weight loss as your primary selling point, it becomes just another Me Too weight loss shake. You set yourself up for price objection right off the bat, because there are many other cheaper weight loss candidates out there that have a much lower price point. The second reason is retention. Keeping people on the shake for the long haul. When right nutrition is put in your body, your cells, your organs, your muscles that were starving for nutrients are finally fulfilled. When your body utilizes that amazing stuff you're feeding it, the byproduct of good health becomes weight loss. It does not work the other way around. If you think about it, when people who put weight loss first, they usually end up being nutritionally deficit. Why? They're cutting calories, they're skipping meals, they're doing all these things, and their body is starving for nutrients. It doesn't work the other way around. When you set the stage for health benefits first and leveraging weight loss as the direct result of good health, you build value. Also, think about this. If weight loss is someone's number one motive, what do you think is going to happen to that customer once their goal is achieved? They perceive they have no need for Shakeology anymore, right? So again, when health comes first, customers will stay on the Shakeology and keep it on board as a lifelong health routine. Its value is not compromised. You got to get the customers to see the big long-term picture. Okay, here's another point that I've noticed just actually in the last 60 days since starting with Beachbody. But initially you see people all the time and I'm like, wow, that person could really use Shakeology. That person could really use Shakeology. But you know what? The bottom line is when you look at the low-lying fruit to get your business started, healthy people are way easier to sell than non-healthy people. They are definitely the easier sell. Okay. The healthy people already, they're more in tune with their body. They know how their bodies feel and adapt. They sense small differences in how they react to different things they put in their body. They already know the value of proper nutrition. They're comfortable spending more to eat healthy and already seeing the big long-term picture. Not that unhealthy people aren't going to get there. They will, but it's an easier sell to sell to the already healthy. So target this audience. Again, this same audience is not a weight loss sell. It's a health benefit sell. This is one thing that I think my mom really helped me with and really made the bigger picture for me. But I challenge you to step outside of your age group demographics. And here's why. When you think of the motive of the 20s and the 30-year-olds, the focus, and I'm in this group as well, but the focus is mostly, I want to look great. I want to wear those jeans. It's, they're more motivated by vanity. I call them like the quick skinny group. You diet on Monday to look great by Friday. It's more about a short-term vision clientele. They're far less concerned about health and disease. Yeah. Mom and dad on for their health. That's right. That's what I'm getting to, Stephen. When you look at people in their 40s and especially their 50s and 60s, our parents group, these folks look around and are constantly reminded of the aging of others. Witnessing their friends being diagnosed with chronic diseases and ailments becomes a very scary reality of their own fate and how they too will live out their years. You've probably even heard from your parents speak of someone they know who has even lived a healthy life that still now has to deal with some dreadful terminal illness. I know I have. I've heard my mom say, oh my gosh, Seay, you would not believe what so-and-so was just diagnosed with. I'm just reading what you guys are writing. This group of people care way less about that 10 to 15 pounds. They fear the reality of disease and poor health. They're highly motivated and they're highly motivated to get and pay for good nutrition. This also happens to be a very large population made up of the baby boomers. This demographic will see more value in health and nutrition than the 20-somethings. So although the 20-somethings may be your comfort zone, I encourage you to reach out to your parents' friends, and your family, and ask them what runs in your family. What do you struggle with? And understand where Shakeology can possibly help that disease and why. I have found this age group has more of a sense of urgency to buy, a bigger vision, desire for health, and is less apt to think $4 a day is expensive. Once you have that customer in a dialogue, whether it's in person or in an email, find out that customer's why. And we always talk about as coaches finding out our why. You want to know that customer's why. And then address that why. If heart disease runs in someone's family and that's what they're concerned about, don't explain to them about the digestive enzymes of Shakeology. If they're sick often, don't drone on about the cardiovascular benefits. Successful salespeople are great listeners, not great talkers. Weight loss may be a common thread for all your customers' why, and that's great because the good news is weight loss is a byproduct of all the healthy whys. So dig deeper and find out their deeper why. Also bring the why back to a health motive. You will create a more long-term value and customer retention. We don't always need to lose weight, but we all could use the benefits of great health. So I think that drives home, just putting the health benefits before the weight loss benefits. I have a few objections that I've either read online or have heard myself that I was going to go over, and how I handle the objections. The first thing I'll start off with is the flavors of Shakeology, and it's actually a huge positive that we have 2 flavors. Shakeology's greatest selling point are all the natural ingredients and natural benefits that you get. Beachbody only uses the ingredients provided by Mother Earth in their natural state, period. The majority of companies take the easy route and toss in some Splenda, artificial flavors, colorings, sweeteners to make it taste more appealing and compromise the quality for appeal. Look at the ingredients by Body by Vi and Slim Fast and most GNC shakes. They've compromised integrity for you to bring you an ice cream shop full of super fun flavors, but many shakes have hidden metals, artificial ingredients in them as well. I'm serious. I've got a customer reports article actually on my Facebook album about the dangers of these hidden metals that was published in Consumer Reports. If you're interested, it's on my Facebook. But because Beachbody made Shakeology and uses true cocoa powder to mask the taste of its earthy ingredients or whatever else nature provides to make the taste appealing, you know that you have a credible, healthy product that is truly 100% natural. When you explain it that way, I promise that people will not only get it, but will be so impressed with the integrity that they'd care less how it tastes and force it down if they had to. Fortunately and thankfully, we all know they won't have to. So don't go apologize for the fact that we have two flavors. Celebrate it and proudly explain why. In regards to tropical, also, I personally suggest not to sell something that we don't have or waste time talking about a product you can't yet deliver. Specifically, I'm referring to the tropical flavor of Shakeology. It's not here. You can't deliver it. Don't waste time on it, period. Sell what you have, not what you don't. Maybe if once they've bought Shakeology on HD and if it is specifically relevant to that customer, then you can mention it. But typically, in general, all you'll end up doing is getting them most likely to commit to just waiting around for the tropical flavor to come out, and they'll buy it then one day, someday. You've just lost the sale. So my point is, a customer can't wait around for something they don't even know about. Sell what you can deliver today. The last thing about flavor. I'm personally not a chocolate fan. I'm more of a chips and salt kind of person. But if chocolate flavor isn't your customer's thing, I would suggest only one of these two options. Either use 3/4 of the scoop or use a full scoop and add more milk. By using less than 3/4 of a scoop, you're compromising the integrity of the shake. This consequently will deliver a subtherapeutic dose, as it's called in the medical world. The ingredients will not be working to their full synergistic capacity, and ultimately, optimal results will not be seen or felt by your customers. You will probably end up with an unsuccessful and frustrated customer. So if chocolate's not their thing, I personally would only suggest one of those two options. Samples. I rarely give my Shakeology samples away. Again, to me, it's back to the value thing. I sell mine for $5 each, $6 if I'm mailing it. And I explain to people that, excuse me, I explain to people that, I mail a numerous amount out a day, and of course the cost adds up and I'm breaking even on them. But one thing I've learned is I don't call mine samples anymore. It denotes, quote, a free try. I call mine single serving packets now. It sets the stage, at least for me, that I've noticed that they are for purchase, and it doesn't give the perception that they're free the way the word sample does. So why create a price obstacle to overcome if you don't even have to? If they don't see the value in spending the $5 to try it, they're certainly not going to see the value in spending $119. Okay, finally, these are just little tidbits I do with every customer, and these are a little bit random, but these are things I've noticed I just have gotten in the habit of doing. I tell every single person that does the Shakeology HD order to take before pictures. I'll tell you, my husband Neil is a perfect example. He eats healthy, he works out every single day, he doesn't need motivation, he didn't even really need to lose weight. But I talked him into drinking one Shakeology a day and taking before pictures, and he lost 15 pounds and looks phenomenal. He looks cut and people notice. And really those before and after pictures help tell the story to the person, and it keeps them motivated to achieve a change. In my email correspondence, I say this almost verbatim with a quote, but when it comes up to price, I explain the Shakeology, and in capital words, I write, replace one meal a day with Shakeology. And then I say, I usually have mine for breakfast, and because of that, I deduct the $119 from my monthly grocery budget. And I think by wording that, it gives them the how they're going to deduct it, and it's reducing from their grocery budget as opposed to the perception that they're adding to a grocery budget. So getting them to understand it's not in addition to their day, and how and where to afford it, I think helps a lot. I follow up with every single HD customer. So the day they order it, I go on my calendar and I mark 6 days out to follow up with Susie or whoever. And on that 6th day, I will email or call whatever is appropriate for that customer, and I'll say, has it arrived? Are you clear on how to make it? Here are some suggestions. How is it going to fit into your daily routine? So I'm getting her to tell me how it's going to fit. And then I follow up with her again in 5 or 6 days, and I ask, how do you feel? Lindsay. Shakeology.
Shakeology.
Okay, I'm almost done. So I follow up with every single customer. Okay, lastly, I use my Facebook to educate readers. And I'll tell you, I call on doctors, I do a lot of that stuff for my regular job anyway, but I have sold everything so far just from my Facebook. But I use my Facebook to educate readers on the unique ingredients of Shakeology and what it provides. No one can come close to the superfoods in comparison or in cost. Most people don't understand what these ingredients do for them. It's your job to educate and create that value. Shakeology's residual benefit is weight loss. For quality, long-term customers focus on the health benefits, and it becomes very easy to differentiate Shakeology from all the other garbage that's out there. It truly deserves it. So read up on your superfoods. It will by far empower you to believe in this product, respect it, hold it sacred, and protect it from any others claiming to be better. I'm not creating a new wheel by any means, guys. I'm taking what I've learned from years of pharmaceutical corporate sales experience, working in the medical field, selling to very analytical doctors, and applying my experience to the best product I personally have ever marketed. So that's my niche, and I hope that helps. So I'm gonna put these notes in the on our Facebook if you guys want them, because I just typed all that out. So I'm gonna hit stop broadcasting. Bye, guys.
Hello? I'm not sure what happened. Seay disappeared. Can you guys hear me okay? Okay, good. Wow. So, who learned something? I did. All right. Well, unbelievable. So I think you guys all know why Seay has rocked this business thus far. And let me tell you something, that's why I love these calls. I love learning from other people and finding out what their secret is. Not really their secret, their strength. That's her strength. And there's so many things that you can learn from not only Seay, but so many of our coaches have so many different, strengths in their life. And so that's why we're starting to have different coaches come on every single week and guest host with me, because gosh, there's a reason why every single one of these diamond coaches on our team are diamonds. And obviously, Seay is an emerald coach right now, but I can guarantee you she will fly to diamond by the end of this month. And that's why I had the name on the t-shirt on the slide, a couple of slides before this, because I know diamond, she's everything a diamond should be. She reads up on everything. When she got in this business, she learned the business. She didn't go off her own knowledge and think, oh, well, I already know this stuff about, medical and pharmaceutical sales. She knew she had to learn this business, this in particular, learn everything that there was to know about Shakeology, but not only Shakeology, learning to talk to people about the business. She was a little bit nervous about talking to coaching, because she thought, well, I can sell people on the Shakeology stuff, but, how do I convince my demographic into coaching? And now things have started to click, and we have been working back and forth, and, now she's really gotten the hang of that. So there's no stopping this woman, and we all have so much to learn from her. So make sure that you do follow her posts on Facebook and learn by her example. When she posts something, because she's going to post stuff about Shakeology that's health benefits of Shakeology, ingredients, and doing a spotlight on that ingredient. That's something that she does often. And it plants seeds in people's mind, and you don't overwhelm them with information. We don't want to tell somebody all 70 ingredients and what they do. You just want to spotlight something, put it in their mind that, wow, that does that. Oh, does that too? Oh my gosh. And over time, they're going to start seeing all these benefits, and it's going to start to click. And also, she mentioned a good point about sticking with a certain person. If you're trying to sell a certain person, don't sell them on things that they're not interested in. Figure out and learn about that person before you start trying to sell them a product and something that wouldn't affect them, something that they're not looking for. You want to find out about them first before you try to push something on them. You want to really listen. It's the key ingredient in this business. So, wow, amazing job, Seay. I learned so much. I know that I'm going to go back and listen to the call. Obviously, I'm going to post this recording in our recording section of the Bombshell Dynasty group, and you guys are welcome to listen to it as well. Take notes. She said that she's going to post the actual notes from the call, so I look forward to that. But to end things off, I wanted to share a quote like I usually do. And I said, if you're going to doubt something, doubt your limits. You have to be willing to push through the walls that you feel like they are closing in on you, because they're likely only a figment of your imagination. I realized that this past year. A lot of things that I was telling myself that, weren't possible for me anymore because of certain things that had happened in my life, or I looked at certain, me having a baby and, different financial struggles that I went through as things that were going to stop me from ever living out my dreams. And the truth was that none of that stuff has helped me. That stuff has pushed me towards my dreams. Once I was looking at it and I changed my perspective. You have to take a different perspective of your life and realize that everything's going to be put in your life for a reason. You're at this very place in your life today. You became a coach for a reason. Don't use your life as an excuse. Figure out how you can use it to relate to others and to benefit them in their life. Because that's what we all want to feel. We all want to feel like somebody gets us. Somebody understands what we're going through. And somebody has made it through that point. So that we know in our head, okay, if she did it, I can do it. And that's what this business is all about. When somebody sees a patient and they started out looking the same way that they did or that they do now, that is why so many people write different transformation people and say, gosh, you made me believe I could do it, is because they related to where you were, they saw you achieve it, and you made them believe in themselves. And that's what we do as coaches. It's unbelievable the effect we can have. But you have to first be willing to push outside your comfort zone and push outside those limits that you think are in your life, because they don't exist. There are no limits, and this business has no limits. And I can preach on to you guys about where I started and how far I've come and stuff. You might not relate. I don't care. I don't care if you do or not, but what I'm telling you is there are people and coaches of all walks of life that have been successful in this business that have made a huge impact on other people's lives. And all you have to do is push past the things that are stopping you in your life and write them down if you have to, and cross them out and say, no, it's not true. There are a bunch of false lies that we all tell ourselves. It's the same thing that happens when people start to work out. It's that little negative voice in your head that starts saying, no, I can't do that. Or, I'm never good at that. It's not true. You just have to change it. So in the month of September, and we have 25 days left, what will you commit to achieving in this month that you once doubted that you could? So my call to action, and we're going to start doing this on a weekly basis. It's going to be a call to action after the call. And I want every single one of you, and there's 45 of you on the call right now, to do this. Either post on my Facebook wall or post in the Bombshell Dynasty coach page the one commitment that you're going to make to yourself and to this team to achieve in the next 25 days. No matter, you're not going to limit yourself anymore. This is what you're going to achieve.